All in sundry, your storage devices are not safe. Do you really expect that dinky ass phone of yours to protect your cherished memories? I mean, seriously. No, we're not. Your phone's too small and too fragile. A computer, I could hit that with a hammer if I wanted to. You know, like micro SD cards, SD cards, USB sticks. Those are all pathetic. I could eat those if I wanted to. Too flawed, too dangerous. I need a way to store my media that is not any of those things. Preferably, I'd want it to be not too big, not too small. Released in 2006. Launched with Call of Duty 3 and... white? Huh. Well, I'll be damned. Picture something for me.
A picture. Got it? Good. Now imagine that being a picture you see on the Wii menu. Odd, but somehow fitting. You may remember the photo channel and using it from time to time. We all remember that doodle feature and for sure the puzzle game that you could play, but by no means did we use it very often, and for understandable reasons. It's just a photo channel. That's not to talk down on it and call it forgettable. It was just one of those things that made a Nintendo console like the Wii have a bit of charm. I mean, the Weather Channel, News Channel, Meme Maker, and Wii Shop, all of these on their own are good, but together they go on to create the Wii menu, which is what we know and love about the console. The photo channel may only have a couple of Nintendo charms that are appreciated and expected, but for Nintendo standards, that's all you really need. The GameCube had a clock, the DS PictoChat, the 3DS MP3 player, and the Wii U Chat. There's just those applications on the consoles that weren't necessarily asked for, but without a doubt appreciated by many gamers. Liked, but not loved. Of course though, don't let what I just said be interpreted as me saying that this is something that we could go without. I may not love this channel, but there is a lot to be liked about it. So in today's video, I wanted to show you all the history on how this Wii channel came to be in the first place, and how it holds up today.
To me, the Wii Photo channel is like that one thing you used to play with as a kid. You know, you remember it, but as an adult now, it's like, okay, I remember you, but I have no idea what you used to do. I don't remember the last time I played with you, and what even are you now? So, let's find out.
If I had to put a starting point on the photo channel's development, I would probably put it at the conception of the Wii itself. Around this time, Nintendo was looking at their global sales for each console and realized that they were indeed creating a staircase that they wanted, but it was going down instead of up. The GameCube was powerful, but it was being outsold by the PS2 and even the Xbox gained ground. Focusing on power obviously didn't cut it, and no one wanted the toy-looking GameCube either. So Nintendo had to think in a different way on how they wanted their next console to be. This conception really started with looking at their handhelds and how successful they were. Why was it? Because it was on a different playing field. The GBA in design is very simple and only having a few buttons. Because of that, games on the console were simple in the sense that they were easy to pick up and understand. Nintendo wanted to carry this magic onto their next console, aiming for something that was not only easy to pick up and understand, but appealing. This is where we got the idea of the Wii in its first form, focusing on something that's different from the competition. In the Wii development itself, Satoru Iwata wanted this console to be at most the width of 3 DVD cases. It was something that could easily fit with the TV and have wireless controllers, so that the game console wouldn't need to be put in the middle of the room in order to plug in controllers. And with the idea of creating a UI that could easily be understood by anyone in the sense that it's organized, we got the famous Wii menu and its channels. Without all of this development, the photo channel would have never came into fruition. And with the channels, they all needed their own features and reasons to click them. To truly imagine this, think of it like switching between different TV channels, except now we look at all of them individually and line them up.
This is where a certain developer really comes into play, and that would be a man by the name of Koichi Kawamoto.
You may not have known him by name before this video, but you might have played some of the games he has worked on that were released before and after the Wii. He first started his work at Nintendo with a couple of Mario Artist games released on the Nintendo 64 DD in Japan. He has also been involved in series like WarioWare, Luigi's Mansion, Nintendo Badge Arcade, Miitopia, Nintendo Labo, and one of my favorites that a lot of you probably don't like, Nintendo Switch Sports. But there is another game series that he was actually the director for that is important for shaping the photo channel, and that is Brain Age. But why exactly are these important? Well, I popped in the game to figure out myself, / I already knew the answer and wanted to show you. The use of the touchscreen and having a clear layout on things that you can do in the game made it very popular for people of all ages. Video games to a lot of people outside of the scene can seem complicated, but with the touchscreen, it made everything so much easier. Sure, you can do the same with buttons, but you'd be surprised to learn by how many people think there's a learning curve between knowing what the A and B button does. On the screen, it already says what it does. All you have to do is click it. It's why when using his knowledge from directing Brain Age, Kawamoto wanted to translate this to the Wii and its sensor bar to make channels. Creating a clear layout of what you can do and what does what makes whatever you're creating, whether it be a game or software, accessible to the masses. In fact, the photo channel would be the first channel to utilize the functions of the Wiimote and sensor bar, features that, to the surprise of the developers, worked really well.
Now, I don't present this information like I'm saying that some people don't know how to use technology, but at the same time.
Okay, seriously guys, this isn't funny. How does this work? When it came to what Kawamoto wanted to do with the photo channel, he looked at it as making it fun. In an interview, he would go on to explain that when he would try to show his kids photos, they would just wander off while he was trying to pull them up. So he knew it had to be something that the whole family could enjoy doing. Luckily, he already had an advantage because he was doing this on a game console. Putting photos on the TV screen was nothing new around this time, but having this software be on the game console and very accessible made it a lot easier. The less time you're confused, the more time you're actually enjoying what you're doing. Kawamoto and his team also wanted to make the photos load fast, so that you could just pull up whatever photo you clicked on and see everything from the get-go. Apparently, it was a goal to make the photo loading faster than computers at the time, in which they succeeded. Photos would be put on your Wii by putting them on an SD card and putting that into your Wii. A lot of digital cameras, computers, and phones with cameras had an SD card slot, so it would just be a matter of taking it out and putting it in the Wii. Another part of the photo channel was the inclusion of watching videos from an SD card. This was something that wasn't actually requested to be on the channel, but Kawamoto simply did it because video recording was just like today, a common thing, so it probably felt necessary to him. With photos and videos, it was just a matter of adding that Nintendo charm we all recognize in order to really bring everything in. What do I mean by this? Well, everything outside of the photos and videos. There was also MP3 support, which you can use to play whatever songs you want while playing photo slideshows. And yeah, you can present your photos and slideshows, something that to me is a result of the whole idea of having a family sit around and look at photos on the big screen. There's photo drawing, puzzles, filters, and Wii message board photos.
With all that said, it's time to dive into the photo channel and see if it holds up today. But alas, I ran into a problem. You see, I don't have anything on my microSD card, so I've actually got to put stuff on it. I originally thought of just dumping a bunch of old stuff and calling it a day, but I also wanted to take new pictures, so I did the dumping of the old stuff and took a few new pictures over the next couple days. Now it's just as simple as putting the microSD card in the Wii, but I ran into a problem with the videos. It wasn't the right format, so I actually had to get an extension that would, convert those into the right format, but it came with the watermark that I didn't want to pay for their service. But it adds a little extra charm if you ask me. But with all that said and done, let's for real put the microSD card in the Wii and see the Wii photo channel in all its glory.
One thing I've always liked about this channel is the photos it shows on the channel screen. Like, for example, whose cat is this? Booting it up, the first thing some of you might see is the 1.1 next to the name of the channel and on the top left. All this is a different version of the photo channel that does the same things. Only difference being that instead of supporting MP3 files, it goes for AAC files instead. So TLDR, who cares? Starting the channel, you're prompted with either viewing photos from a digital camera / cell phone or from the Wii message board. Basically, whenever you get photos from progressing in games, the most famous example probably being Mario Kart Wii, you can view them from the photo channel. Now this photo, I have absolutely no idea where this came from. I bought this Wii off of eBay. And this, well, let's just say I did some photo channeling myself before this video. Two ways to know which one you're on is that 1, the colors are different, and 2, the music's different. And I won't lie, the Wii message board photos theme is a bop. One of the things that you notice off the bat when viewing photos is just how simple the UI is. You have zoom in and out, up and down, a back button, and a slideshow function. With slideshows, it simply takes your photos and presents them in order of appearance on the SD card, or you can do random, with a couple of transitions and filters thrown in there. This is where the music you put on the card comes into play. You have the option of a few songs already on the channel, and it really helps to get the mood of your slideshow. My personal favorite is Bright, but with your own music, you can make the mood whatever you want it to be. Clicking on the actual photos, we got a few options. You see the slideshow option again, and the only difference is that it starts a slideshow from the selected photo instead of the first one from the SD card. We have zoom in and out, and we even have the feature to rotate these photos. Here's an upside down cat. Clicking post gives us two options. First, we can get all these photos into the Wii message board, which basically keeps them on the Wii forever. And we have Post to Wii menu, where now when we go to the Wii menu screen, we can see these photos on the channel icon. Last but certainly not least, we have the Fun option, which gives us all sorts of goodies. This is the place I think me and many others spent time on with this channel. Clicking mood, we can put a few different kinds of filters on our photos. We can even change the intensity of it, and I'm telling you right now, any photo with a hard-boiled filter could be something from a creepypasta. On Doodle, we can draw on this photo and put all sorts of stickers on it. You have your basic colors, but you can also extract any color from the photo and scribble with that instead. There's the eraser, and we even have arrows to move the photo with. It's where the Wiimote really comes into play in enhancing the photo viewing experience, as I just so decided to call it. And with these stickers, we can use motions on the Wiimote to change them. And with the undo all button, it just undoes everything you just did, with a rocket animation that is honestly kind of nostalgic. And lastly, with the puzzle option, we do just that, make puzzles out of photos. To me, this is probably the most random one, but it oddly works really well, especially with the Wiimote. We can break this puzzle into either 6, 12, 24, or 48 pieces. And when we click View Records, you can see the fastest time a puzzle was completed on whichever photo it was done on. What if I told you though, that all of these same things can be done with a video? I left this out intentionally, but yeah, if you really wanted to do a puzzle on a video that is constantly moving and confusing, be my guest. And I can finally put Batman Arkham Asylum on the Wii like I always wanted to. At the end of the day, in 2024, the photo channel pretty much does stuff that every computer, phone, and tablet does nowadays. But that doesn't mean it wasn't impressive for the time. And you know what? After all that photo channel talk, I've got a new appreciation for it. Despite this being nearly 18 years old, I think the photo channel holds up pretty well today. I mean, it may not be out of this world, but it's pretty useful outside of just being on a game console, and it's just fun the way it is. It's what it was meant to be, a fun way of viewing photos and videos. Hopefully by the end of this, you too picked up an appreciation for what is not only the photo channel, but the Wii itself. The photo channel is something that represents Nintendo at the time, trying out a lot of new things. Doing things that, although are different and unexpected, are good kind of different and unexpected. So with that, I'm kind of off to do my own thing. I wanted to watch YouTube videos, but the Wi-Fi's out, so I decided to just dump the video that I made and put it on the SD card and just watch it on the Wii. So I'm technically watching a YouTube video. Yeah, life couldn't get any better.